What is Charles Oliveira doing right now? Is he freaking out? Is he scared? Is he calling Dana White saying, what the? You guys, Mateusz Gamrot, the boogeyman to Charles Oliveira. At least that's what it seems like. In the last week, my friends, we'll be stepping in UFC Fight Night, October 11th, Rio de Janeiro, to fight Charles Oliveira, your number 4 ranked lightweight. Woo-hoo-hoo! Gamrot has the biggest opportunity, being ranked number 8 in the lightweight division. Just like that, if he beats Charles Oliveira, he's in the top 5. And let me tell you guys something. Recently, the allegations and everything that's been going on has been ridiculous. September 19th, your boy Mateusz Gamrot drops a tweet reacting to the breaking news that Rafael Fiziev will not be fighting against Charles Oliveira. He's pulled out. And he says, I'm ready to jump in. I'm ready to jump in. Get me in there. All right? And then we see the interview with Charles Oliveira talking about how the UFC is calling everybody up, trying to set up a fight for Charles Oliveira, but nobody wants to answer the call.
Só que olha só, não cai nesse papinho desses caras que estão aí. Ah, eu vou, eu vim, aquilo, porque o UFC tá batendo lá e todos eles falam, ah, não há tempo pra bater o peso, ah, não dá pra mim, então esse negocinho de ficar postando na internet pra ganhar hype, esquece.
Everybody's scared. Right? And Mateusz Gamrot tweets the same interview out and literally says that he's told the UFC that he's down to fight Charles Oliveira 2 weeks notice in Brazil. And Charles Oliveira gets the most heat. He gets the most heat after he drops an interview talking about he doesn't want to face Mateusz Gamrot. That he believes, yeah, I'll step in there and fight any fighter I want, but me and my team talked about it, and we got to think for ourselves. We got to be smart about this. We've been preparing for Rafael Fiziev, who's a complete, absolute, amazing striker. We all know Rafael Fiziev has great boxing, great head movement, switch stances, great kicks, great kickboxing. Every single thing about Rafael Fiziev, Muay Thai, everything is absolutely amazing when it comes to his stand-up, my friends. He's so technical. So Charles Oliveira has been preparing for that for the last 2 to 3 months. And he says he doesn't want to fight Mateusz Gamrot because we all know Mateusz Gamrot is a straight-up wrestler. He tries to strike, don't get me wrong. But personally, I don't think he's a good striker, especially when he's fighting off the back foot, has his back up against the cage. It's horrible. And we see Mateusz Gamrot the way he wrestles. He's like a wrestler out of high school, shooting doubles and singles, picking up that leg, getting a single leg, picking up that leg, pushing you back, doing whatever it takes to take you down. And Charles says, I don't want to fight this guy. And trust me, the whole UFC world heard about this because everybody started talking about how Charles Oliveira is ducking Mateusz Gamrot. And Mateusz Gamrot even drops a tweet September 21st. It says, I heard you were scared about fighting my style. I heard you were scared to fight me. There's no more excuses. Let's do this. And guys, Mateusz Gamrot has gotten what he's asking for. September 22nd, just yesterday, to make things even hotter, he drops this. The Lion holds the most records for the most finishes in the UFC and the most floor finishes in the UFC, but he's scared to fight a grappler? You guys, Charles Oliveira, former UFC lightweight champion, with a record of 35-12, with 20 finishes in the UFC. I believe out of all those 35 wins, he has 30 finishes altogether, but 20 in the UFC and 16 by way of submission. That's what he does. He has great striking, don't get me wrong. But what gets the bills paid is his grappling. And he talks about how he doesn't want to fight Mateusz Gamrot because of his, he's been training for Rafael Fiziev, even though grappling is Charles Oliveira's main game. Now, I understand where Charles Oliveira is coming for. He's trying to think smart. He doesn't want to just completely go in there on 2-week notice against a guy that he wasn't preparing for. But the UFC don't work like that, and Dana White don't work like that. And Dana White said, you know what? They gave Mateusz Gamrot a call, and Mateusz Gamrot is stepping in October 11th, UFC Rio. Is he gonna be the boogeyman and ruin the night in Brazil, my friends? Woo-hoo!